Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel, and ladies and gentlemen, ooh, scary news. Looks like we've got yet again another XRP killer. Oh my gosh. Bitcoin getting streamed in real time via the Lightning Network? Let's talk about this. Here's a tweet from Anthony Pompliano, Bitcoin maximalist Anthony Pompliano. I like the guy, but the idea of maximalism is terrible in my humble opinion. And he shared this short video clip, which I'm not going to play. It doesn't really matter for the sake. I'll just briefly explain it. You can go check it out for yourself if you want. It goes on for 1 minute and 19 seconds. But he tweeted this video clip out and wrote the following. I continue to say it. Jack Mallers has built what will be one of the most valuable companies in the world. Money sent anywhere globally in seconds and for free. LFG, as in let's effing go. And so I'm sitting here as I read that tweet, and I'm just like, my gosh, you've clearly been so anti-Ripple and so anti-XRP. Well, then again, you're a maximalist, so you're anti-everything that's not Bitcoin, I suppose. But I'm sitting here thinking, this use case is not something you cared about until Lightning Network allegedly could solve the problem. And then now it's exciting that somebody's building what could be, in your opinion, one of the most valuable companies in the world, solving the problem that Ripple is seeking to solve. So now it matters because you're assuming that the XRP has nothing to do with it or couldn't have something to do with it. Now, this is going to be very interesting to run through. And so in this video clip, you can see here's Jack Mallers. He's the founder of Strike, which is an app that you can download, and I guess they're just in beta right now. And you can just, it's just an app you can send money around the planet, right? And quickly, right? Well, allegedly anyway, only so much. Here's what I'm gonna break down, because I think like there are a lot of misunderstandings about like what's actually happening here, because he claimed that his company, Strike, can send money around the planet anywhere 24/7 for no cost. And that could not be a more disingenuous statement. That would be like saying what Ripple is doing in sending money around the planet is done at no cost because XRP costs fractions of a penny. But let me ask you this. Do businesses just create a company? Like if you're the founder of a company, do you create it and then employ a bunch of people that you're paying a lot of money to lose money? No. So, okay. So wait, so there's a company behind this and you've got salaries to pay, but you were telling me that you're going to give away your service for free. No, that is completely disingenuous, and it doesn't take into account the way that Lightning Network actually works and the fees associated with it. So I'm going to run through and break this down a bit. And I actually did something I don't normally do. I did take some notes for myself because I didn't want to forget anything on this topic. And I actually first came across this. I was watching a video on Crypto Eddie's channel, and she did a good job kind of covering some of the basics around this. Awesome job. But upon seeing this, I was like, okay, I know I'm on Twitter. Some people very concerned about this. There are some misunderstandings. I thought I'd just flesh it out further and make a whole video about this. So I'm going to break down. So if you're one of the people that saw this and you don't know what's going on, what does this mean for Ripple? What does this mean for XRP? Don't worry, I got you covered here. And no, it is not an XRP killer. I do want to encourage you, too, if you want to read in depth about all of the problems associated with Lightning Network, I recommend that you go to Galgatron's blog. It's an XRP community member. That's GALGITRON. So it's galgatron.net. And he wrote a piece, and I think he wrote like a little over a year ago, and it has an awesome name because he's funny and he has a sense of humor. It's titled "Why Lightning Network Sucks Balls." And so he's colorful. I'm a big fan. He's very colorful. So go to galgatron.net if you want to read the whole thing. It's rather lengthy, rather in depth, and he's an incredibly intelligent individual with a sense of humor. And so let's start at the top. Okay, first of all, when you're talking about this, like the way in which this application works, understand that this is still regulated by the government. What Strike is doing, that's the name of his company, Strike, with this app, STRIKE. This is regulated by governments the world over, and so there are, just like with Ripple, you may be familiar with KYC, know your customer requirements. Well, it's, there's the same requirements here ultimately. And so also in terms of liquidity, I don't know all of the specifics about the company because they're not nearly as transparent as Ripple, for example, about the fundamentals. But I do understand that they are partnered with cryptocurrency exchange Bittrex to move this around. I do understand also they are utilizing Lightning Network, which is barely functional as I record this. And maybe it gets better, maybe it doesn't. But I'm going to articulate in this video why even if it does get better, it doesn't mean that it just wins the prize. Like Bitcoin is the prize winner, Ripple's out, XRP doesn't matter. That is not true. And so, if you're going to use Lightning Network, and here's the dirty little secret that seems to never be talked about, it requires pre-funding. Basically, it's creating a system kind of similar to the Nostra Vostra system that's used in the world of legacy finance today. Pre-funded accounts. And so Bitcoin, actually, if you're going to use Bitcoin on the Lightning Network, a channel must be opened. And so that does require, by the way, hitting the layer 1 technology to process that. And then there's a fee. And so keep this in mind also. I saw recently, just the other day, I mentioned it in one of my videos, I saw a $67 Bitcoin transaction fee. And so to open a channel, if that's what the rate is at the time, bam, $67 just to open the channel. If you want to close the channel, by the way, bam, you got to go back to layer 1 technology, another $67. That doesn't sound free to me, by the way. And also, again, the Bitcoin, if you're going to use Bitcoin on the Lightning Network, it must be locked up. It has to stay there idle, right? And also, in addition to that, utilizing the Lightning Network, both the sender and receiver must be online at the same time to use it. And so, if you're not going to make the users both be online to send and receive money, there could be workarounds. There certainly could be, but that's not the end user using it. And so there's going to be a cost associated with that. You're going to have all sorts of corridors open with live transactions, and then the magic is behind the scenes. But again, there are costs associated with that. If you're talking about an exchange like Bittrex, who they apparently partnered up with, they're going to be getting a cut too. And so like this claim that he made in this video, it's so disingenuous. There's no way, even if the Lightning Network portion of it is free, you're a business. You're here to make profit. You're employing people. That's one of your employees in the video that you're sending this money to. And he's not working for free. Nobody's working for free. And so I heard that and I was like, okay, that's great. Some people hear that and then they don't understand how all this works. They have no additional context. And then they're like, but this is what Ripple's supposed to be doing. Yeah. Well, they've got a business too, and they have employees. Like they all do. And so I really didn't like that disingenuous comment. Next, let's see. Lightning Network. Oh, good old Lightning Network. Look, maybe it'll work more efficiently and at greater scale in the future, and that's a maybe, by the way. It's yet to be proven. It's like this is still a science experiment, whereas what Ripple's doing with on-demand liquidity utilizing XRP as a bridge currency, that is not a science experiment. That's used in the commercial production of enterprise-grade software today, right? And so right now, Lightning Network can only handle small payments, like $100 or less. And so if you want to pay for a cup of coffee, if there are channels that are open, there can still be problems actually. Okay, you could do something like that. But if you want to send $200 somewhere else, good luck. It's not working at that level of scale. And consider that the last time I saw this is off the top of my head, but the last number I can recall seeing is that average global payment flows, it's about $5 trillion a day. So with Lightning Network, which isn't functional today, you cannot solve the train wreck that is the world of global cross-border payments and settlement. You cannot today do that with Lightning Network. Now, and I'm happy to acknowledge that you can only do so much with on-demand liquidity today because, let's be real, crypto markets are illiquid right now. I'm happy to acknowledge that as well. But, as it gets built out, there will be more corridors opening and so on and so forth. I've talked about that ad nauseum in my videos, right? That's okay. That's part of the nascency. But the technology works with what Ripple's doing. The technology does not work sufficiently with what Strike is doing. And it may develop over time, and super duper more power to them if they can pull it off and they can find some level of success. That's fine. I love competing forces in the market. This is not a problem. Because frankly, if XRP isn't the best suited cryptocurrency for this purpose, then it doesn't deserve to win. But it is the best suited, as I record in 2021. Now, being a Lightning Network operator, by the way, it costs money. I want to mention that too. Like, if you're one of these people, I know I kind of was touching on this, but I just want to be super clear. Like, running 24/7 servers, as it turns out, is expensive. And so this is a cost. Again, to say that this is all free, it's completely disingenuous. What's next here? Let me check my next note. I love this one too. Almost nobody knows this, but let me drop a bomb here. Since it's funny, at the end of the video he does his little demo and then he says mic drop. He's a little cocky about this, frankly. And so at least he's confident in what he's doing, or at least maybe just on the surface appears to be confident here. But did you know that Lightning Network can be utilized not just by Bitcoin, but almost any cryptocurrency on the planet, including the XRP ledger? Like, you can even issue your own IOUs on the XRP ledger and then use Lightning Network technology. Now, the interesting thing about it is with XRP, it's so lightning fast, lightning fast, that you don't need Lightning Network. It just is fast. So think about the way that this is set up. You've got layer 1 technology, Bitcoin, right? Okay. Which again, it doesn't even have to be. You could throw XRP in there for some reason, or pick your crypto. Go ahead. So that's your layer 1 technology. Then you have layer 2 technology, which is Lightning Network, which today doesn't really work. Then on top of that, you've got layer 3 technology, which is Strike App. That doesn't sound very cheap to make happen, does it? I think you guys are kind of putting the pieces together at this point, right? It's not free. It can't be. There are humans, there are business models. And consider this too. So like with Ripple, what they're already doing, you know that they have customers too that are building out apps. Like for instance, the Money Tap app, which I've talked about, it has been announced that XRP is going to be utilized with that. And so, you know, when you're converting from one fiat currency to another, that's when you need it as a bridge, right? Well, okay, so what's the difference? So then you've got your layer 1, which would be XRP, and then you've got Ripple software, and then you've got an app on top of that. Okay, so you tell me why is it that in that situation where there's this app, that Money Tap, where Money Tap will be utilizing XRP, and you can build any number of apps that utilize this technology, why would it be the case that Lightning Network, which today doesn't even functionally work, like he did in a demo here where he sends small amounts, fine, super duper, but why is it that would be the clear winner and not what Ripple is doing, or what their partner developing, the Money Tap app? Why think that Strike just takes the cake at this point? Especially when if they're using Bitcoin, they may be using other cryptocurrencies rather than Bitcoin, because what he said they're using in the video here was Lightning Network. He didn't even say Bitcoin in this. He said Lightning Network. And there are better layer 1 technologies to use. Now, of course, there's always pros and cons. By using Bitcoin, there is more liquidity. It's the most liquid cryptocurrency on the entire planet. Happy to acknowledge that also. That's a selling point, fine. But I don't know why you'd want to pick that. If you're trying to move money efficiently the world over, I don't know. I mean, what about opening and closing these channels? It hits the layer 1 blockchain every single time. And what if it gets to the point where, on top of the expenses of being a Lightning Network operator, what if we get to a world where it's regularly the case that they're like it costs hundreds of dollars, to make on-chain transactions? I don't think that's like. The throughput of Bitcoin on chain is like 5 to 7 transactions per second. With XRP, it's 1,500-ish. Do you not see a problem here, right? I kind of see a problem here. What next here? I guess that's probably the bulk of what I wanted to cover on this thing. And so you just got to recognize here, like this there isn't some sort of like instant winner takes all. And if they even catch up, this is an if the Lightning Network technology catches up, what I want to share with you is that it is not clear to me why you would choose Bitcoin, why Bitcoin would be the winner. Rather than XRP, especially because think about this in terms of Bitcoin having the liquidity advantage at this point, fine, but the whole crypto space is going to continue to develop in the coming years, and liquidity will increasingly become less of a problem. And so, to me, there is no clear. It's not clear to me why Bitcoin would be the winner in this case. Why Bitcoin over XRP? And so the way that these transactions are working, they're basically batched. If you're wondering, like, this is kind of in a nutshell stuff, like basically they're the payments. It's like you can do this, by the way, you can do this with XRP2 to scale XRP further, which David Schwartz has talked about too. That's Ripple CTO, co-creator of the XRP ledger. But with Lightning Network, basically like a bunch of transactions effectively are sent through these channels, and then it can hit the block. You can settle like basically to the blockchain, for lack of a better term. So it hit it on chain when you need to. But in the meantime, again, your Bitcoin is indeed locked up. And so then there was this tweet from XRP community member Matt Hamilton. So he saw this clip here with Jack Mallers given his mic drop moment. And he wrote the following, and this is, again, Anthony Pompliano that sent this tweet out. And Matt Hamilton wrote, "How is this any different to what Chris Larsen was demoing 78 years ago with Ripple and XRP?" And I got to admit, I was kind of thinking the same thing when I saw this, and I was like, oh. And the moment he said that it was free, I was just like, oh my God. So you're not trustworthy. It's not free. It is not free. And then you've got somebody named Chus here, I guess that's how you say that, Chus, I don't know, responded to Matt Hamilton and wrote, "This is cheaper and faster, and you don't need Bank's adoption. You just install the app. XRP is dead." To which Matt Hamilton responded, "You seem to have missed the whole point. If you are doing fiat-to-fiat bank accounts, then you need banks involved. If you are just doing fiat-to-fiat IOUs, then you just use the XRP ledger and don't need banks either." Again, this is back to 2014. And so again, this is why I was saying, if you're going to be operating within the legacy financial system, which Strike is, Jack Mahler here with his mic drop moment, his Strike app, it's operating within the legacy financial system. KYC is a requirement. Banks are a requirement. And so, if you want to get around this, and I've talked about this too, like what Ripple's effectively doing with on-demand liquidity, and this is a fun little fact if you haven't thought about it, you can do it manually yourself. But and I'll get into why this isn't something that's going to be happening in mass anytime soon, certainly. But think about it. You could go ahead, rather than go through a remittance firm or a bank, rather than using MoneyGram, which utilizes on-demand liquidity and XRP as a bridge currency, you could just do the purchase. Because think about how this works. If you're a remittance firm, you purchase XRP on a cryptocurrency exchange in whatever country you're in, send it to the destination country, which is in a different fiat currency, then sell it locally there. Well, why can't I just go ahead and if I want to send money to somebody, like, why can't I just purchase XRP, send it to my friend in a different country, and then they take it deposit it into their local bank account, whatever their local fiat currency is, and then take out the middleman? Like, you wouldn't need Ripple, you wouldn't need remittance firms, none of that. And that's true. You can do that yourself today. That's already possible. But the point in Ripple doing what they're doing is to not require adoption of cryptocurrency in general. You're never going to onboard that many people en masse. And so the part of the magic of what Ripple is doing is it's that recognition that you're not going to onboard that many people, and there's already a bunch of rails in place now. And so all they're saying is, let's just have sufficient liquidity in the background, and we'll connect you, because even if the XRP is being used to move the money for you behind the scenes, even that is substantially more efficient. And so maybe, what if the world evolves to a point where you don't need that stuff? Well, fine. Maybe they'll keep using XRP and use it themselves then. And maybe there'll be apps built on top of it. Okay, cool. However it works, that's fine. It doesn't mean that XRP fails. And so by the way, a transition like that could take decades. And that's why the first killer app that we have doesn't require the onboarding of millions and millions of people the world over to crypto. It's not user-friendly, it's scary, all that stuff. People don't want to touch crypto, generally speaking, but if it's just used in the background, you've got some sort of infrastructure that makes this happen, well, that's a big part of the magic here. And so with this, you're not having people, even with Strike here, the people are not being onboarded to crypto. No, they're downloading an app which is utilizing Lightning Network, which kind of works. Which, and by the way, they're just in beta here. They don't have a two market product at this point, and maybe it all gets worked out and they have a product that goes to market. Maybe they do, but that's not where they are now. And so again, it's not the adoption of crypto. And I don't even know for sure if Bitcoin is being used as layer one. I don't know, because there's talk about stable coins and this and that. I don't know. But then you've got to make all sorts of new markets in the background, and it gets really, really expensive really, really fast. So no, this is not an XRP killer. It's not clear to me why this would be a better solution than what Ripple is doing. You know, there are business expenses associated with each, but it is getting more efficient with what Ripple's doing here. And competition is fun, but I wish people understood a little bit more about this, because they see stuff like this, they see this video clip, and if they're an XRP holder, then they get a little bit scared. And I just saw this and I'm just like rolling my eyes. I'm like, nothing against the guy on any sort of personal level, and I value competition. I just didn't like that what he was saying was very misleading and disingenuous. I didn't care for some of the stuff he said there, but go ahead and check out the clip yourself. I'm not going to play it in this video. It's already long enough here. But no, so suffice it to say, the Strike app here is not a Ripple killer. It's not an XRP killer. So, you know what? Really, what they should just do is use XRP. But if they insist on, for some reason, using Lightning Network, which doesn't make a damn bit of sense because it doesn't functionally work right now, why would you want just make XRP the layer one? You know, you're going to have fewer headaches because the whole market's going to explode. You're going to have tons of liquidity at some point. You know, the cryptocurrencies that are useful and have real world utility, the ones that really have staying power, you would think, right, that probably many of them would end up having, you know, at least $1 trillion market caps on their own, you know. And XRP is truly global. It's one of the most liquid cryptocurrencies on the planet. So take that for what it's worth. But I will go ahead and wrap up there. If you have any questions or any thoughts, or if you think I missed anything, I do love diversity of thought. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.